So a couple of months ago, my mom walked into my room and handed me a piece of paper, and I have it right here. And it basically shows January through September and shows just all the losses I've taken trading. And it's a 5-month overview. In January, it was 480. December, it was 884. November, it was 514. October, it was 220. And in September, it was 121. So it basically totaled about $2,200 for 5 months, which honestly, for someone who's trying to become a profitable trader, really isn't that bad if I'm being completely honest, but it's still kind of depressing to look at because it's just kind of showing me that I'm not where I really want to be for my age. You know, I'm not even 23 yet, so I would say that I'm still in the younger side, but it's kind of depressing when you're a young guy who is really just entrepreneurial minded and wants to create something for himself. And I don't really look at my mom and resent her for that, because honestly, it's just her being a good mom. You know what I mean? Because if you've never looked into day trading before, it really does look like, you're gambling. And, I don't blame her for that at all. It makes completely good sense. But I think older people just really don't get it, because 20 years ago, the idea was, okay, you get out of high school and you go to college and you really kind of have it all just laid out for you, right? You do the 4 years and you have a job waiting at the end of it. And with that job, you can have a family, you can provide for yourself, you can basically kind of create this life that you want in your head. And yeah, maybe not have the Disney life where you have everything you want, but you're comfortable. But nowadays, we really don't have that. I mean, if you look at the stats of it, about 50% of people that go to college aren't even going to use their degrees. I mean, my dad doesn't. It's just it's kind of insane to me that you're going to go to college for 4 years. And that's at the very least. Keep that in mind. You could be going to college for 6 or 8 years. And the fact that you could go through all this debt on top of that and not have an 100% certainty that you're going to have a job is absolutely insane to me. I don't know why anyone would take that. I'd much rather take the gamble in myself. You know what I mean? Because at least then I can kind of control the outcome. Because if I don't have the result that I want, it's okay. Yeah, I'm kind of lacking in this area. For me, it's if I was in college right now, or if I just finished college and I couldn't find a job, it's well, I have the degree, so, maybe I can improve my resume, but I'm not really sure if it's completely my fault. Whereas right now with trading, I can kind of look back at my trades and be like, hey, Jay, that was a really stupid trade. Yeah, you probably should not have taken that. That was obviously going to lose. And I can kind of find comfort in that because it's okay, I'm the reason that I'm not where I want to be. And I'm completely in control of how my life turns out. Yeah, there's going to be some uncertainty because I'm an entrepreneur, but I have a lot more control over how things go. And don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid. I know there's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs who don't make it to the finish line. That's kind of the nature of being an entrepreneur. If everyone could just get rich, no one would have a job. The fact that you can make a ton of money as an entrepreneur, but that comes with a super high degree of risk is kind of what makes it valuable in a sense, right? But I've always kind of looked at it from a certain lens of if someone has it, it's not unrealistic. If you could go to a big city and see a Ferrari drive down the road, that means that someone has achieved enough money to buy that Ferrari, which, is at least $400,000. And on top of that, be completely comfortable with paying the insurance on that. Not that's a ton of money. I don't think anyone can deny that. Someone's comfortable enough to buy that. And then when you do the math on it, it's okay, if they have a regular job, they're going to have to work several years just to afford it, which would probably make it a horrible financial decision. So this person's clearly comfortable and more than likely is doing their own thing to be able to afford this. And they have that. So it's not unrealistic for me to have that. That's really as simple as it is. If someone else can have it, why can't you? I had this friend when I was young, and we weren't crazy cool, but his name was Matthew. And I remember whenever I'd go over to his house, he would be trick shotting. I'm talking Black Ops 2. He was really good. He was really good. But he had this passion for content creating, and he would make these super sick edits. And he was about a year or two older than me, so he had a little bit of a head start on me. But whenever I walked into his house, he was either trick shotting or he was editing his trick shotting. I'm not kidding. But I used to always look back at him and I was just like, bro, like I was young, so I didn't really get it. I didn't have that entrepreneur mindset then, but I was thinking about this video and I thought back to him and I was like, wow, he had that vision and it worked out for him because eventually he was the FaZe Clan editor. I'm not kidding. Like, I know that sounds kind of made up, but this dude did a lot of editing for FaZe Clan. And the last time I checked out his Instagram, he was at a Justin Bieber concert filming. So you really can achieve whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure when he was editing those trick shotting videos that got 50 views, it was probably kind of depressing. But that's the life that he wanted, and he went after it. And I think it really was a complete snowball effect where all it really took was getting that initial motion, and that launched him into the rest of his career. And I think something that a lot of people don't talk about enough is you should chase after the life that you're going to be happy living, because it's really easy to say, okay, let's go be a doctor, you know, and make that $300K a year. But are you actually going to be happy with that life? I mean, if you have a family, I'm sure you could get some fulfillment in that because, I mean, you're providing for your family and your daughter's going to be able to go to basically to whatever college she wants, and you can drive a nice car. But well, I mean, the trade-off of that is you're going to be at the hospital a lot more. You're not going to have a crazy amount of time off. You're not really going to be able to enjoy that money. So for me, it's almost like, okay, is it even worth it? Because like, if you just look at it from a family lens, then absolutely. But I don't really think there's any self-fulfillment in that. Unless your goal is to just retire as fast as possible, then I guess you could argue that is pretty smart, but it still just seems like such a bleak life and something that I would absolutely hate to live. And I guess that kind of just leads me to my final point, where I don't think life is really worth living if you hate it. Like, I think I would rather be homeless, smoking crack under a bridge, than living a life that I actually hate. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather be under a bridge, having the freedom to really just do whatever I want, than be a high-paid slave. Because that's really what you are. If you're a lawyer and you're always traveling, like my grandpa, and you make a bunch of money, but you don't ever get to see your family, and you're not ever able to be home, and you're not really ever able to, see the things that your money can buy, then I think ultimately you're going to have a very shallow life, and you're going to wake up one day and actually try to pursue something like entrepreneurship, because you're going to realize that money was never really the goal. Freedom is.